Hello, this is Dr. Lapetina, and this is the video for Unit 1, Lab 4. The purpose of this lab is for you to measure and compare the voltage and current in different circuits. For this lab, you will need your snap circuits, your work-along packet, and a multimeter. I want to note on the printed copies of this lab sheet, it may have improper directions about measuring current and voltage. When measuring current, the black lead should be plugged into the COM socket, and the red lead should be plugged into the 10 amp socket. When measuring voltage, the black lead should be plugged into the COM socket, and the red lead should be plugged into the volts, milliamps, and ohms socket. Your packet may refer to the left sockets or right sockets, and this is an error. First, you need to make some predictions in this lab, so please read the lab packet and do that. Then, you should put together circuit A, which consists of one light bulb and one battery pack. You need to measure both current and voltage across the resistor. When you measure current, make sure to plug the black lead into the COM socket and the red lead into the 10 amp socket. Turn the dial to 10 amps. Open the circuit by undoing one of the snaps, and then using each end of the leads, close the circuit by touching the leads to where the circuit used to be connected. This directs all of the current through the multimeter and gives you a reading for the current. You then need to measure the voltage across the resistors. To do this, turn the dial to 20 volts. Make sure the black lead is plugged into the COM socket. The red lead is plugged into the volts, milliamps, and ohms socket. And then touch either end to the outside snaps of the resistor. This will give you a reading for the voltage across both resistors. You then need to examine circuit B, which contains two battery packs, but one light bulb. To measure current, you'll make sure that the black lead is plugged into the COM socket and the red lead is plugged into the 10 amp socket. Make sure you turn the dial to 10 amps. To measure current, you undo a snap and then close the circuit by touching each lead to where the circuit used to be closed. This directs all current through the multimeter and gives you a reading for current. To measure voltage, make sure the black lead is plugged into the COM socket, the red lead is plugged into the volts, milliamps, and ohms socket, turn the dial to 20 volts, and then place the leads on the outside of the resistor. This will give you a measurement of the voltage across the resistors. Last, we need to examine circuit C, which consists of one battery pack, but two light bulbs. Again, to measure current, we make sure we turn the dial to 10 amps. Make sure the black lead is plugged into the COM socket. The red lead is plugged into the 10 amp socket. We open the circuit, and then we direct all the current through the multimeter by touching each end to where the circuits used to be connected. This gives us a reading for current. Last, we need to measure the voltage across both of these resistors by turning the dial to 20 volts, making sure the black lead is plugged into the COM socket and the red lead is plugged into the volts, milliamps, and ohms socket. We then can touch each of the tips to the outer edges of the resistors, and it will give us a reading for the voltage across both of the resistors. After you've made these measurements, make sure you answer the 3 questions at the bottom and bring this to class. Thank you. Have a great day.